They're off, and Cheery Knight is sent right to the front. Petesky on the outside to the inside. Fourth, they're at the top of the stretch, and Petesky leads it by 2.
Wembley holding on. Mayakoa right there. They follow. Oh, what a tragedy as Go for One has fallen at the 16th hole in a tragic stretch run here.
You're probably aware that when a horse breaks a leg, sometimes it has to be destroyed. But why? This seems so drastic and cold-hearted. If I broke my leg, all I would have to do is put on a cast and stay off it for a while. So what is so different about horses? To get the answer to that question, we have to take a look at some of the differences between humans and horses. We humans have a lot of bulk in our lower limbs. Lots of muscle tissue, tendons, and bones in our calf, and a big heavy foot dangling at the end. Each time we take a step, we have to move all this weight forward, like a pendulum, into position for the next step. This slows us down. Horses, on the other hand, have evolved over millions of years, specifically for their speed. You can see this if you check out its leg. Technically, this is the horse's foot, the ankle here and the toe here. As you can see, the horse rests or stands on its toes. You'll also notice that a horse has next to no muscle in the lower leg. The majority of the muscle is in the upper leg, where the least amount of movement takes place. Down here, all we have are a few arteries, nerves, and tendons. The horse's skinny, lightweight leg allows it to attain speeds of more than 60 kilometers per hour. But it's this combination of speed and lightness that gets the horse into trouble. When we break a leg, it usually happens like this. The pressure comes from the side when we fall. The break is clean, and it fits back together quite nicely. But when a horse runs, it can put up to 5,500 kilograms of pressure straight down on one leg. Watch what happens when we apply pressure this way.
There are some very sharp-looking fragments of bone that are sticking out the side here, and all these lines...
Because there's so much less bone and tissue in a horse's leg to begin with, it doesn't take much for all this shattering to cause a catastrophic injury. One that can take a very long time to heal, if ever. Unfortunately, you can't reason with a horse like you can a human and tell it to stay off of its injury. You also can't sedate it and keep it on its side for too long, because its own body weight will tend to crush it. A horse must be restrained in a standing position, using special equipment to keep the weight off the injury. But few horses will tolerate being confined like this for the 6 months it can take for a leg to heal. About the only viable alternative to restraining the animal is to try and hold the shattered leg bone together with plates and screws. The horse?
Yes, these are the x-rays that were taken the day after the surgery, and what we see here are some large metal plates and multiple screws that have been put into the leg to try and bring back all of these fragments together.
These plates and screws must be strong enough to hold the full weight of the horse for the entire time it takes for the bone to heal. But if the break is too severe to be held together this way, then the leg cannot be saved. This dog seems to be doing just fine with only 3 legs. So why can't the horse do the same? Well, unfortunately, a horse weighs a lot more than a dog, and 3 legs just aren't enough to support its massive weight. The added weight will cause the bones of the remaining legs to push right through the sole of the hoof, causing a great deal of pain. Well, how about an artificial leg? We do that with humans. Would that work? A veterinarian in Kentucky has actually amputated the damaged foot of a horse and fitted it with an artificial one. But This horse was lucky. Its injury was minor and only affected its foot. Many fractures are so severe that too much of the leg must be amputated to allow a prosthesis to be attached. The horse's unique anatomy and temperament make it a great competitor on the racetrack, but these qualities also conspire against it when it breaks a limb. As we've seen, rehabilitation is hampered by the fact that the break is often quite severe. It's almost impossible to keep the horse off its injury. A horse can't survive on 3 legs, and an artificial limb won't always work. Putting the animal to sleep may seem like a drastic measure, but sometimes it's the only humane choice there is.